Welcome everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. Today I'm doing a reading for the sign of Aries. As usual, I shuffled the cards before the video started, so you guys don't have to wait for that. So everything's all ready to go. We're going to take a look at what's going on with you guys. So let's get started. Now the first position is going to represent the recent past. So let's take a look. I've got the Four of Cups for you with the Oracle card of the Door. This is like thinking back to something specific that happened. Like a moment, an event, a moment, because the door kind of narrows time down to a specific moment, and then the Four of Cups talks about memories here. So we're thinking we've been reminiscing, we've been kind of maybe even dwelling on some event. Let's take a look at what that event is. I'm going to need more cards because that's still pretty general. Let's take a look at more specific information. Tell me more about the Four of Cups with the door here in the recent past for my Aries signs. Can I have more information on the door with the Four of Cups? Cancer. Okay, so this is about family, something that went on either in your house, an event that went on in your house, family. Cancer could just be emotions. Let me do another card. Actually, on the bottom we have the bread. Underneath that, we have the treasure chest. So this event that happened has to do with family, and it has to do with money and resources, okay? We've been going over this. Yeah, and the sword is underneath that, which kind of tells me that it's sort of like accounting. I'm getting accounting from this. Like, we've been going over maybe the bills in our head, like just our resources and the bills and the home. Stuff like that is what we've been thinking of, but it has to do with a specific event. Let me look at the top few cards to see if I can just get a little bit more information. So the top three cards, I have the coal, the bed, and the manticore. So the event was irritating, okay? It was irritating to... I'm guessing that there's a lack of resources, right? Because it wouldn't be irritating if we had extra resources. So this event definitely has something to do with like having spent too much money, or not having had, or maybe something that left us without resources. But it's bugging us, and it's been sitting with us with the bed and the coal here. Let's keep going, because that was the past. So now I'm going to move to the present, and I am going to leave the future for last, guys. So stay tuned for that. But the next position I want to look at is going to be the position of the head. So this tells me your conscious thoughts at the moment. Let's see. I have the Eight of Swords with the number 8. Whoa. We're really like in our own zone, in our own thoughts, in our own memories. Like it's almost like this past energy of running this event over in our heads is still lingering in the present here, because it's like almost like we're stuck in our thoughts. We can't stop thinking about it. That's what I'm getting, is we can't stop thinking about it, and we don't really have any great solution to the thoughts that are running through our head. It's like they don't go anywhere. They don't finish. See if I can get any more on this. Anything else about the number 8 with the 8 of Swords? Tell me about the 8 with the 8 of Swords for my Aries signs. The skull and crossbones. Like we can't... There's no resolution. That's what it is. The event might have happened in the past, but we just can't resolve it in our head. We can't put it to rest in our head. And I think it's just because it's like there's something to do with the money that was spent that we're still dwelling over. Maybe we're resentful. That's what I'm about to see, because I want to take a look at your emotions now. Maybe you guys are resentful. I want to see how you guys are feeling about this whole situation, because that's going to tell me a little bit. That's another piece of the puzzle. All right, so this is called the position of the heart, and we have the 10 of Swords with the chair. Wow. So we're not resentful. So whatever this event was, it just feels like it was a shit show, and it's like now we just can't get it out of our heads. It's like the 10 of Swords is like, it's like a bomb went off. It's like, but now we're sitting with it, with the position. We're stuck in a position. We're sitting with the chair in like a wasteland. Like we're just sitting. It's like I'm picturing like a chair in the middle of like a desolate wasteland, right? That's kind of how we feel. The position that we're in is now. That's how we're feeling about the position that we're in. And we can't see a way past that, and we keep dwelling over the situation. Kind of getting the picture here. Okay, so let's move on to the position of the hands. This is the last position in the present before I look into the future. So this tells me the actions you guys are taking, what you guys have been actually doing outwardly. I have the Star with the Oracle card of Mercury here. Interesting. This is like either faded conversations or following the breadcrumbs of conversation. Okay? There are clues. It's like following the clues to where we're supposed to go. And those clues are like informational. It could be like a word of mouth thing. Because Mercury it's thoughts and words. We're following the breadcrumbs to our fate somehow. Let me pull cards on this. Tell me about the Star. The Star right side up is great. It tells me that we're on like the correct path for our own personal destiny, and it's like the information is around us, and we're like getting it from somewhere. This is also thoughts. So words and thoughts, right? They kind of like mesh together. They go in. The words go in your ear. They turn into thoughts, right? But this is sort of. Because it's what you're doing, I also feel like you're saying things that are going to lead to fated events. The card that came out here to clarify was the Torch reversed. The Torch reversed. Torch reversed is kind of like saying I'm not going to do that, or not is actually not trying something, not following a path, or putting something in the dark. So yeah, it's like we're following the breadcrumbs in the dark. We still haven't figured out our way out of the situation. We're sitting in a chair in a wasteland from this event that happened in the past. We can't see our way out of it, and we're following the clues. Could be just our thoughts, like one thought leads to another, to get out of this dark place. Okay, that's what I'm getting here. With Scorpio on the bottom, it is a dark place. We're sitting in like a bad spot. We're in a bad place. Underneath Scorpio, underneath Scorpio, the coal, underneath the coal, the bed, underneath the bed, the manticore. Yikes. So it's almost like we're doing all we can, but all we can do is, like I was saying, follow the breadcrumbs. And we're in a bad place. The manticore is like being irritated, being annoyed. The bed is almost like just being sedentary, right? But the reason is the coal, it's like there's like an impasse, there's a problem, there's something heavy, there's something that is obstinate. And again, that's shown here in our thoughts too. It's kind of like we're stuck, either mentally or it could be just also physically. When we're stuck physically, it definitely trickles over to the mental. And then Scorpio is just actual pain. It's, torment. A sting. Excuse me. Let's move on to, let's move on to the future. See what's going to happen. The present's looking kind of dreary, but let's move on to the future. Maybe things are going to get better. Let's take a look. This is, by the way, the short-term future, so you guys won't have to wait too long before these cards come into play. So I have here the Knight of Swords with the ship. I'm just thinking that this is still more mental processing. This is still more mental processing. You got a lot of mental cards here. You're like, it's all mental for you guys. But this is still being distant, like keeping your distance from the situation, people, etc., and really continuing. The Knight of Swords is like a continuation of a thought process. So we're continuing the thought process. We're still following the breadcrumbs in the short-term future to figure out a way out of the situation we've gotten ourselves in. Let's see if we can get more information on this. Tell me more. This is what I'm going to clarify now. So, tell me more about the Knight of Swords with the ship. Tell me more about the Knight of Swords with the ship. So I'm looking about 2 weeks to a month in the future, and it seems like things don't change all that much in that time period, but this is short-term. Tell me about the Knight of Swords with the ship, please, for my Aries signs. 7. 7, 7, 7. Kind of flipped, too. It's almost like we haven't quite figured out a way out of this bad, heavy mental space we're in. We haven't figured out a way out. We're still trying to figure out a way out in the next couple weeks. As in the short term, you guys are still figuring your shit out. On the bottom, Pisces, you're feeling your way through it. There might be a emotional processing that comes along with these thoughts with Pisces. Let's see what's on the top. On the top here, we have the book, and Cancer. Remember, Cancer came out when we were talking about that event that happened in the past. So this is still trying to figure out a way to resolve this event that we feel may not even be that it really ended like a complete shit show, but we feel like it ended in a shit show here with these cards. And we're still trying to figure out a way to fix it. We're still trying to figure out a way to make it work with some other person that was involved in this event. Because it wasn't just about you, there was another person involved in this event too. But we're still trying to figure out a way to come out of this thought pattern. And it's like, it does, I think, and ultimately, you guys are gonna have to, like, talk to somebody. You're gonna have to express your true desires here, I think. You guys have just been doing a lot of thinking, but ultimately you guys might have to be doing be more open with what's in your heart. That might help, rather than dwelling on just the thoughts over and over again. Eventually you guys might want to, like, open your heart and your true feelings. There's a lot there. There's a lot that's just sitting. Let's pull advice for you guys. Okay, so the way I do advice is a tarot card and an oracle card. Positive advice, stuff you guys should be focused on, aware of. I'm not going to take that. That was too fast. It's too fast. Well, I'm going to take it. I've learned to take. They're always accurate when they happen that fast. All right. We got two instantaneous cards here. We got the Ten of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands. So the advice here really is you do have to put your foot down a little bit with the Queen of Pentacles. Like I was saying, there is a financial component, and you do have to put your foot down because it's in the bet. Like, if it's your money, it's your money. If it's your stuff, it's your stuff. And you kind of do have to state that a little bit. That would be these two cards. Let's see what comes out for an oracle card. Tell me more about the Queen. Tell me more about this advice, please, for my Aries signs. Anything else for advice for my Aries signs? Anything for advice for my Aries? Anything else? Anything for Aries? Libra. Be cut and dry, and there's. At some point, it's like things just need to be equal. Things just need to be fair. Excuse me. Things just need to be like the same, equivalent. That's Libra. It's like you guys, if you're in a roommate situation, you guys should pay the same amount of rent. That's sort of like this card. It's like you gotta come out and say that, especially if you're the person who's been doing more than your fair share. Or you're the person who's been kind of like running the ship, right? Then you do have to kind of come in and say that, like, we need to, I would like for things to be more fair, for things to be more equal. Could be that, like I was saying, this is all stems back to this event that happened in the recent past, right? Things I think are tied together here. That's it. That's what I'm getting. And then the card that came out next was just confirmation, because I wanted to peek because I'm nosy. But that was just a confirmation card that's sort of telling me, reiterating the same information. So that is your advice, guys. Okay? That was a lot. So, take all of that and piece it together for your situation. I hope that helps you guys out. And I wish you guys all the best. Thank you guys so much for taking an interest in these videos. I always really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Take care.